In my last AnimayKon video, I was complaining about the event's location and I said that it needs to be in Expo Center. Well, someone listened and they did it. An AnimayKon in Expo Center. And I was a cosplayer. Well, sort of. No one actually recognized me or recognized that I was cosplaying. Some people thought that I was part of the expo staff. Well, that is because I was dressed up as Steve Jobs. And I had an employee card with me as well. In hindsight, that was the most terrible idea, wearing an employee card on your neck. I thought that would make it more obvious, but yeah, that didn't help much. Well, the reason I was dressed up as Steve Jobs was because I had this joke idea that I should be handing out job application forms. You know, that meme that was popular like a few months ago and is already stale. But not only any job application forms, they would be like special meme forms, obviously. And you know, the joke was that Steve Jobs. Yeah, that was a joke that I had to explain to people for them to understand it. So my idea was something like this: make a funny job form, print out a ton of job application forms, and let people compete and submit funny forms. The winner gets like 5,000 for a silly submission, and I get to do some banter. So I just printed out like 200 of these forms, and yeah, I think I printed a bit too many. I didn't know 200 was such big of a number to see in person. So the plan is like I would put them in this box and just go out and distribute them to people. But yeah, I think they might be too many for a single person, because yeah, even as the guy was printing out the forms, I was seeing the print count, the printed papers pile up, grow and grow, and I was seeing the number on his screen, and he had only printed half of them, and I'm like, bro, this is only half of these. Yeah, I don't know what to do. The day arrives and panic sets in. It feels so weird to dress up as someone, even though I was like wearing essentially normal clothes. I was still panicked. I don't know how cosplayers do it, like they are so casual, but I was just panicking. So I arrived at the event and I met up with my friends, and then I started to see a problem. I was not very recognizable. I waited around a bit doing nothing, and then two guys were approaching me, and I thought, hey, someone wants to see what's up. So remember when I said I was wearing an employee card? That guy thought I was part of the expo staff and wanted Wi-Fi password. I gave him an internet connection from my phone and took the opportunity to hand out a form. He was nice, and now I had 199 forms left only. I then handed forms to a few other people and explained what I was doing. Once they recognized the joke and the meme form, they appreciated it and laughed as well. So after all of that, I still had 190 forms with me and a ticking clock. At this point, I realized something. People don't really recognize my cosplay, so they cannot enjoy the joke. I also realized something else. I was looking around and seeing many people just standing confused, not really knowing what to do, and that is exactly how I felt in that moment. Remember last year when I made a video about the event done by the same organizers, and I found it to be extremely boring last year as well. There's something about the vibes of the events that these organizers do that just makes them less exciting. Okay, so the issue with the event is that they have a central loud stage where a huge crowd was gathered, and you have like no space to just exist. You have to stand there for hours, there are no chairs, and back there's all this space just unused. If you do not want to be at the center stage and stand where you are behind a bunch of people and you cannot see anything anyway, in that case you have no activity to do. GeekCon was organized a bit differently. It felt more inclusive. So seeing the confused faces make me think that I just have to step in and do something. I decided that I will just go ahead and actually start reaching out to any confused face that I see. Just hit up, do a small chat, and use the form as a sort of excuse to just hit up people rather than making it the actual thing that I'm doing. So, for the first few attempts, it was a bit awkward because some people don't really go online and scroll memes, so they do not know what the job application form was. But after a few attempts, I had a speech locked in. So I looked for someone who's either walking alone or walking with a friend, but they also seem to be a bit confused. I just go up and say in Urdu, "Hey, do you guys watch anime?" 60% of the time they say yes, but surprisingly 40% of the time they actually say no. I was surprised by the number of non-anime people, and for these people I just ask, "Are you with someone who watches?" and that person force you to come. This is where their face lights up as if they have found their long lost kin, and they say yes. I hand them the form and tell them I put this field specifically for you, and then ask them why is your friend forcing you here, and are you weirded out by this event or what. It was very fun to talk to this group specifically because they probably did not enjoy for a second. At least there was some social interaction, and I told them to like give this form to their friend and tell them to get a life. For the other 60%, I continued with the rest of the script. I start with something like this. Imagine a world where I hire you for 5 lakhs. Some people cut me immediately and said, "Okay, done." Listen to the options first, bro. And then I say, or I give you only food, but I will take you to Japan once a year. It was funny because a lot of people immediately said, no, just take me to Japan. Japan is all I need. While some people said, no, I would take the money. And then I told them there's another option. I could just revive Gojo, but you will have to work for free. Now, there are two kind of people in the world. People who have watched JJK and like Gojo, and the rest of the normal people. Some people straight up wanting him to stay dead. And one person asked if I could revive someone else, and yeah, of course, I said that is an option as well. But the people who watched JJK went in a deep thought. They were contemplating if they should make a personal sacrifice for the greater good. It was amazing. All of this was until I gave them the final option. We isekai you. And brother, 80% of the people immediately said yes, proving that every anime fan is actually a degenerate. I followed it up with, I never said that a revival is guaranteed. Some people reconsidered and said no, but the funniest or maybe the saddest was the bunch that said no, just kill me. I want to escape Pakistan. Oh, that was sad. So yeah, my script ended here, and then I explained to them that there's this competition form and the form has a lot of jokes, you should just fill it out. And yeah, that was where the interaction ended. But I had a problem. The interactions were going really great, but I was against time. A single interaction was taking me from like 3 to 5 minutes, and time was running out because I was only there for a few hours. I had two options. I could just go to the main crowd and hand out these forms in bulk to those people that are already having a great time, or maybe I could just have fun reaching out to people who are having a bad time. It kind of made me think about the people who decide to work for free to revive Gojo. Do I continue to individually reach out to people, or do I become selfish? Okay, so I'm just back from the AnimayKon event, and uh, yeah, I wasn't exactly able to distribute them all out. As you can see, I think there are about 100 of these in here, and yeah, that's a lot of paper that I'm probably going to use as some rough work because I don't want paper to go to waste for no reason. So yeah, I was going up to people one by one because a lot of people were. I felt that a lot of people were kind of feeling left out and weren't really having a good time. So I thought my time would be better spent if I tried to go to those people rather than just handing these out to people who are already having a good time because yeah, I think it's the event is kind of about reaching out to people and having a good time, and if someone is not having a great time, I would rather be Mr. Jobs, like a sort of person who is nice to people rather than someone who is just doing a meme for absolutely no reason. So yeah, it was a great event, even if I have this pile left with me for no reason. I had a lot of fun doing this bit and reaching out to people, and everyone that I met was appreciative as well that there was some interaction with them. A group of friends found it so funny that they took a bunch of forms from me and said, "This is fun. यही काम ना शुरू कर दें हम भी," and sped off. I'm glad that I did this because I got to have so many fun memories with random strangers and got to make them laugh. And it was not only me handing out the forms. My friends who came to me with the con, they also helped me out, and yeah, you guys know who you are, and thank you for this. So what about the competition that I have for rupees 5,000? So what I did was I made the submissions open to all so that people who didn't get the form physically could also participate, and the submissions were very funny. Everyone was so creative. I was having a hard time figuring out which one is the best, so I kind of made a scoring system. I scored each item or each thing that was really amusing or had some funny element. I just ranked it out of 10 and just counted up the score for each of the items on the form. So in the end, this submission had the most funniest items. It had like a two-step isekai joke that sets it up earlier and then goes in and makes it funny later, and then it makes a jab at me by calling me a cartoon, and then there's a self-depreciating joke as well just for good measure, and then there's a two-step joke about being hot. And yeah, I love doing jokes that set things up first and then they pay off later. So congratulations Illumina, you have won. And yeah, it was not easy actually. The top 3 entries were actually only 3 points off: 49, 46 and 43. I have reached out to the winner for the reward, so you should maybe join the Discord as well in case there is a future event or something, please. Anyway, yeah, that was the AnimayKon event, and I think I just might pass on the next event organized by these people. They are great, but maybe not for me.